Tribe, how's everybody? Spiritual Empress, what up, what up? Happy Thursday, you're almost done with the week, hell yeah. I just got back from my run, so it's so funny too, because I've had people like ask me if I'm an athlete before. You guys can't see on here, okay? I'm actually pretty tiny, okay? I'm almost borderline underweight, so, but I am an athlete, like I am a runner, like I was always an athlete like growing up. This guy, like, I was just checking out the grocery store one time and this guy asked me, he goes, are you like an athlete? And I looked at him and I was just like, yeah. And I said, how could you tell? And he's like, well, and he was just looking at like my figure. And then I was like, no, this is how you tell. This is how you tell if somebody is an athlete or was an athlete, because we invented this bun right here. You see that? The bun, the flip-flops, the basketball shorts, the t-shirt. That's what we invented, so that's what we brought to the table. Am I an athlete? Shut the hell up. I used to be. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do like a Thursday morning chat just because I just got back from my run. I have my Starbucks water because I'm bougie. I will not spend, I don't care how much money I have, you guys. I'm a cheap ass, okay? Like, I will not spend $8 on a cup of coffee. Very few and far between. So I don't care how much wealth I have or how many riches. Yeah, I can afford it. I'm not spending. I only go there for their water because it's triple filtered. So if you guys try their water and you're like, it's so much better than water everywhere else, I don't know why. It's because it's triple filtered. So I'm like that asshole that like goes up there and just asks for free water. So as Arizona, bitch, you gotta give it to me. But I wanted to do a quick chat today and kind of get you guys' take on it because it's not something that's really bothering me. It's just like, I've been thinking about it a lot more lately with all these different movements and stuff. And no, this isn't like a political thing. I follow all that stuff, but I don't talk about that. But it's just this like weird society around like thin shaming. And I know that this sounds stupid to some people, but I've been thinking about it a lot because there's a thing that happened to me when we were at bingo. I mean, everything was fine. Everybody was great. We had a good time, but I think it upset like my friend more it upset me. And then when I kind of thought about it, I like thought about like back in my life, all the freaking thin shamers I had around me. And I know that this sounds like a fucking like, oh yeah, like, oh, she's so skinny and her boobs are so big. What a problem. Like, no, that's not like what I'm doing right here. I just want to take your perspective on it, I guess, because it kind of surprised me. We went to the casino and we were playing bingo. So me and Sagittarius went to the casino. We ended up sitting with these two like older ladies across from us. So when you're playing bingo, y'all, you're there for like a good while, okay? So you all start talking and getting to know each other and getting into each other's lives or whatever. But we're sitting there and Sagittarius got hungry. So he's like, well, hey, I'm going to go grab some food. Do you want anything? And I was like, nah, I'm not like hungry right now. So he leaves, he comes back and he got a freaking, I didn't know that they had chili cheese dogs. He comes back with the chili cheese dogs. And I was like, bitch, you said you were gonna get nachos. I didn't want nachos. Came back with a chili cheese dog. Like, I love chili cheese dogs. And so he looks at me and he goes, oh, and he goes, well, do you want some? And I was like, no, I'm just fucking with you. Like, whatever, enjoy your food or whatever. So he's eating. And then the woman across from me, now the woman across from me is overweight. Granted, I don't give a shit what size anybody is. I don't really see people like that. But she was overweight, okay? So she's sitting across from me, nice older lady. We're all, having a good time chatting. She's overweight. Her friend's overweight. And then I'm just sitting there minding my little dopper, And she goes, you're like one of those girls, aren't you? And I was like, huh? And then she's like, yeah, you're like one of those girls that like never eats. And I was like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, like you don't, like you just like never eat. And I was like, why would you say that? I was like, first of all, no, I love cooking and I love food. Okay, like I love cooking, I love food. Second of all, the way that I eat I eat very healthy for the most part. I will like splurge and do like junk food and stuff, but I really try not to just because my system can't burn off large meals, so I kind of like am a picker. So like for me, big meals and stuff, if you like had me over for dinner and saw how much I ate in a sitting, it actually has made people self-conscious because they think I'm watching what I eat. In essence, I can't handle like a lot all at one time. It's just how my design is. So even like my mom and stuff, she gets really self-conscious like to get more food. And she's a manifester, so my mom can she's a generator, manifesting generator. She can like put food away, and it's funny because I just grab my like little bit and like my little plate. But for this lady to like say that because I wasn't eating with him, it was kind of weird. So I was just like, no, I was like, why are you saying that? Like, why are you saying that? That's just like a weird, I've never had somebody put it to me like that. Like, you're just like one of those girls. And I was like, is that what people think of me? Or like, she goes, no, you're just like super tiny. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, yeah, I eat. And then Sagittarius, honestly, I didn't get offended by it. I kind of blew it off. I was like, no, I just eat healthy and like work out. Like, I've been that way my whole life. And I was like, and plus I can't eat this shit. Like this shit will like mess up my stomach. So I try not to eat like fast foods, that kind of stuff very often. I'm always cooking. So, and it was just kind of funny because I didn't think anything of it. And then I just keep like dabbing, and she goes, she's like, I'm like really sorry. And I'm like, about what? And she's like, I'm sorry. I didn't like mean it like that. Like, I didn't mean to like offend you. And like, the funny thing was Sagittarius was offended that I was being thin shamed. And I'm like over here, like, I avoid conflict because half the time I'm not aware of other people. Like, I just do. So she just like profusely apologizing. And the more that I thought about it, like, and it was a big deal. We carried on and kept playing bingo. But then I started thinking about it. Like, I started thinking about all my friends growing up that were not athletes, because I had groups of friends everywhere. Friends growing up, ex-coworkers. And I can say that these ones were friends of mine that were overweight, okay? They were overweight, and I went back in my head, and I went back to so many instances where I was thin shamed. Like, I had friends who, like, they wanted to eat shit Southern food, or they wanted to eat this, that, or the other. I was like, nah, that'll, like, it doesn't feel good on me, so I won't eat it. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to eat or whatever, I'm good. And then it would always be the overweight ones, and they'd be like, oh yeah, skinny Megan. And I'm like, no, I just don't want to eat that shit. Like, it's bad for your system. I've always been a health nut, like, into nutrition. And where times, like, for my birthday and stuff, we at work, everybody knows not to get me cake. Well, I've changed that over the years, but everybody knew not to get me cake because I won't eat it. Back then I was just on a really strict diet. But like, I won't eat the cake, so that everybody would bring me flowers or whatever. But it would always be my overweight friends, and they'd be like, come on, Megan, you can have just like one bite of cake. And I was like, no, I really can't, because at the time I was on keto. So like, if you have like 1 gram of sugar, it will toss you out of ketosis. I was like, because that one bite of cake will basically undo the last 4 days of work for me. So I can't have really just one bite of cake. But I don't know, like, I really don't understand why people shame other people who are maybe doing something that they wish that they could be doing, and they just don't have the discipline to do. But to shame somebody who just wants to be healthy and exercises and takes priority in themselves, and that's a very good quality to have. So I don't understand this whole fat shaming thing. And now I think about it, and I'm only thinking about it more because I've never had so many people tell me how tiny I am in the last like 6 months as I think I have in my whole life. Like, everybody I meet, like, even the people when we're out, they're like, dude, your girl's tiny, dude. Like, but like, I'm just starting to see it more and more, and I don't know if that's a thing in society. But yeah, if you guys can drop comments about what you think about it. I really think it's fucked. That's any kind of body shaming for anything is fucked. But if you're like, and it was funny because I don't ever see jealousy very easily, but like Sagittarius is like, it's because they're jealous. Like, when girls are hating on you, it's because you're doing good on you and they're not doing what they want to do, or they don't have the motivation to do it, or they don't have the determination to do it. He goes, it's because they're jealous. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't care. But like, to body shame anybody, I think it's just bullshit in general. So yeah, if you guys can drop comments about like what you think about it. And I know that this sounds like such a freaking like white girl first world problem thing, like, oh yeah, like you have a problem, like other people wouldn't think that was a problem, but like it really bothers me. It bothers me when anybody judges anybody for anything, really, because I'm very non-judgmental. So if you guys could drop comments about what you think. I know I'm just being a bitch this morning, but I have energy from my run, so I just thought I'd do a little chat. But thanks for if you actually watched the ramble. And then I'll be posting another video up soon. I had another idea. I have like really good health tips for like fixing your back and